Okay, welcome, Dani.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the Rock Goddesses. Super glad to have you here. Um, can you please tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Dani. I'm the singer of heavy metal slash northern band Wailing Banshee. I'm also currently doing my masters and currently doing my masters and focusing a lot on like feminism in the metal scene and like finding ways to foster safe spaces for like women in the scene and making everywhere more inclusive.
Oh, that is so cool. I have so many questions about that, obviously. And I was just writing an article for this online zine that's for women in metal. And so I do have a lot of questions for you because I was like writing about some of the people I see as role models of like fostering those kinds of communities. Can you say a little more about that? That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, so for one of like the main research projects, it was looking at um like yourself in the popular music industry and like finding your role within it. Um and I thought, well, I can just look into the way that I'm sort of treated, like generally as a woman in the scene. You find that like being in a band, a lot of your fans tend to be like older men who are just fetishizing you or like objectifying you, and you don't tend to see a lot of like you see more than you used to, but not a lot of like young women in the scene, like either at gigs or like in music. One of the statistics I found out was something like 3% of metal musicians are women, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is
uh,
crazy. Yeah, go on.
yeah. So one of the main sort of things that I was looking at was how can we change it and like how can we like do better. And one of those was like fostering like support networks for women. So what I've started is at the minute it's just like an online forum, which I like anyone like women and like non-binary people can join. At the moment, it's just called Women in Metal Support Network, but it's because we're struggling to think of a name that is inclusive of all gender minorities, but also rolls off the tongue nicely.
Mhm.
So we're currently trying to think of a good name, but I think there's about 100 people in there so far that are all like either musicians or like fans, all there just to like support each other and like guide each other, share our music and like uplift everyone. If someone's got a problem, like we're helping out. It's a really really nice little like online community.
Oh my gosh,
Uh,
nice. Is it a website?
so at the minute it's a Facebook group and a group chat. Um, so I'm just sort of every time I like meet someone who might be interested, I'm like, oh, you should join this group.
Yeah, well, I think you're gonna get a lot of people joining
Yeah.
from this interview. That's super cool. I'm gonna definitely check it out and probably also include it in this article.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Definitely gonna include it in this article. That's perfect. Cool. I love leadership. I love pillars of the community. And it's like leadership enriches everyone, including yourself. You
Yeah,
know, with like you gain so much wisdom from taking up a mantle and just asking questions and
yeah,
role modeling that it's okay not to know everything. And
exactly. Yeah.
um, that's so neat. I can't wait to look at that later. Um, cool. And so yeah, and you're also in a band called Fractures in the Sky.
Yeah.
And
So,
yeah.
so we're taking a bit of a break. So Fractures in the Sky originally started as it's a one man like solo progressive like instrumental project. And me and Dan, who runs it, we met each other at uni because I wanted help making my own single. So he was like, "Oh, by the way, I've got this album. Do you want to sing on it?" So we recorded that and then did like a bunch of gigs together, and it was really, really fun. That was the like first like metal band that I've ever gigged with before. So that was like fresh out of lockdown. The only sort of gigs I'd ever done was like acoustic, like singing in a pub. So it was very scary. But it was really fun, yeah. We're both taking a bit of a break from that at the minute. I think he's just released an instrumental album, but he's in another band called Warlock AD. So they've just done a tour and they're releasing an album soon, which I'm actually featuring on as well.
Oh, amazing. And then what about Crystal Wolves?
Oh, Crystal Walls. Okay, so that was when we were in uni. So everyone in Wailing Banshee, which is like the sort of main band that I'm playing with now, we all met at uni. And so Charlie, our drummer, and Harry, one of the guitarists, they are original members of Crystal Wolves. And basically, for one of their exams, they needed a singer because their old singer had like moved home or something. Um, so I like stepped in, and then we're like, hey, like she's not coming back to sing for us anymore. Do you want to like carry on doing it? So we did for a while, and we released one single together. But then unfortunately, the founder of the band, she had to move home as well. So it ended up just sort of sadly fading away a little bit. But we all still speak to each other, and it was really fun at the time.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. Just glitter
Yeah.
on my face. But for the Americans watching this, can you explain like what age group uni is?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started uni when I was 19. I think most people usually start like 18, but I like missed a year after college.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
See,
like 19
you
when
guys, you
when
guys.
you're about
Oh,
21.
sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, you graduate when you're about like 21, 22.
All
Uh,
right. Yeah, we college means something else here.
yeah, like college is like your uni, isn't it?
I'm pretty confused at this point, but
For us, you go, so high school, you're like 12,
no.
and you're like 16 when you leave, and then college is like 17 to 19, and then
Oh,
uni is like the one after it.
okay, yeah, here it's high school starts when you're 14 and goes until you're 18. Then we have college at a university, and then we
Oh,
have master's programs that are 2 years, sometimes 3 years long.
okay.
And then we have doctoral programs. But you can also do like combination master's doctoral, and you can do like warp speed masters that are like a year if you just take a zillion classes at once.
My master's is a year, which I'm regretting now because I work full time as well.
And two, three bands, whatever.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So, well, that all sounds super exciting. When did you first realize that you loved rock, metal music, and you wanted to create more of it?
So when I started like singing, I used to sing like Ed Sheeran, like Justin Bieber songs. Like, for some reason had this idea in my head that like as a female singer, I wouldn't be able to be in a metal band. I don't know why I had this idea at all. Um, but like I think when I was like 14, I started getting into like Paramore and Panic at the Disco. And then I think like 15, I got really into Black Veil Brides, like really into them. Um, and then as I got older, it just sort of like expanded. Um, and then sort of, I think I found in this moment, um, and I heard like Maria Brink scream, and I was like, oh my God, she can scream. Like, how is she doing that? uh,
Hmm.
and like finally like opened this like Pandora's box of like female metal artists, and I was like, oh my God, like why have I been telling myself that I can't do this? I clearly would be able to if I tried. So I think I didn't really put much effort into it until I was in on my uni course, and like lockdown came, and I ended up in that in the Fractures in the Sky project, and that was when I really started to like actually have a go at it,
Hmm.
uh, and just loved it. Like I can't believe I wasn't doing stuff like that before.
Yeah, it's like just some of the messages that society gives us about like where we belong. So annoying, so in the way. But I'm glad that you actually, I think, pretty quickly found your way, like
Yeah,
where you wanted to be. Um, Yeah, and I saw that you were doing at least about 3 years ago a lot of covers on YouTube. Nirvana, System of a Down, Lacuna Coil, Kill Switch, Engage, 3 Days Grace, and even Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was around I think it was just at the either just before lockdown or just at the end of lockdown. It was when things were sort of still
Mhm.
like very shut down and you couldn't really go anywhere. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do something. Like, let's just make stuff from my bedroom.
Yeah, they looked like they were pretty popular. You got a lot of views.
Oh,
So, but with the music that you're making now, focusing on Wailing Banshee, which I think is a great name,
thank you.
um, you just had To Save the World come out, and that does have some extreme vocals and a hardcore breakdown, which is different from what we heard in Hidden Chapters. And then, like, my personal opinion, I think that Hit the Ground sounds like Man on the Edge by Iron Maiden, and I love Iron Maiden, so I love that. And then the first song, The Oracle, is practically my theme song.
Oh,
And it's kind of like it's got to me like almost an Allman Brothers influence, a little bit of like a Southern rock touch to it.
oh, okay, nice.
So you've got 4 singles out. Are you working on an album?
Yeah, so we are currently working on our EP. No, not working, we're working on releasing our EP. So each of the singles, Hidden Chapters, Hit the Ground, and To Save the World, they're all leading up to the title track release, which is Fight to Be Free. That comes out on the 7th of June, and we've also got our first music video coming out with that one.
Oh my
It's
gosh, it's so soon.
so exciting. It was so expensive.
That's
Uh,
art.
yeah, and we were like, it's worth it. We got to pay good money for this.
June
So
7th.
we're all broke now. Um, but yeah, we're really excited for that to come out. I think that'll be about 2 weeks after the EP release. Um, and then for a while, I don't think we're going to be releasing music after that because we've got the album. We just need to record it and like plan when everything's going to happen. So we'll get to that. But
Yeah, one little baby step at a time.
yeah,
Okay, so that's super exciting. I'm super excited for your EP and your music video.
I'm
The
excited.
Yeah. And are y- do you have like an album or an EP release show planned for that?
So we had our EP launch party that was just got this Thursday gone. And it was initially planned for the 9th of June, so it would be 2 days after the single release. But then the venue are getting a refurb, so they had to reschedule the show, sadly. So I said while we were at the gig, I said to the audience, I was like, you'll probably realize that like we don't have an EP out, and it's because we're edging you.
Okay, so speaking of music videos, if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about?
Okay, so generally a lot of the songs follow this sort of pattern of like it's about like the harsh and like gritty reality of life and like the hardships that you go through. But then a lot of them sort of it's always like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like everything's shitty, but like we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna make it better. Like we're gonna have some fun at least. I think Fight to Be Free, which is the one that's coming out next, that is very much like it's about like a dystopian world where everything's gone to shit. And like it's just about like, we're all in this together, we're gonna make it better and just like do the best we can with what we've got.
Hmm,
Um, very fun.
yeah. Positive. I love
Yeah.
I always love positive metal. I'm like, well, anyway, um, cute. Those sound amazing. If you could collect any 3 vinyl records of all time, what would you like to have?
Oh, okay. Um, so The Devil You Know by Heaven and Hell. Absolutely love that album. It was if you don't know it, it'll be it. I can't speak. If you don't know it, it's Black Sabbath, but with Dio on vocals. but Ozzy Osbourne wouldn't let them call it Black Sabbath, so they called it Heaven and Hell instead.
Yeah,
Um,
Ozzy shouldn't have been allowed to call his band Black Sabbath. He stole it from Jinx Dawson. So, like, what? Whatever. Anyway, go on.
Naughty. But yeah, so it's just an amazing album. It was I believe it was the last album that Dio recorded before he died, and he had stomach cancer at the time of recording it. Which you could never tell because his vocals are amazing on it. Like the songwriting is just like this man that's like staring into the void of like he's gonna die soon. He knows he's gonna die soon, and he's just written the most beautiful songs. That honestly, it's some of the best songs I've ever listened to. I could listen to Bible Black on repeat. It's such a good song.
Okay.
Um, Another one, we think. Do you know the band Blackbriar?
Blackbriar, I don't.
So they're I think they're Dutch, I want to say. They're like a fairy tale inspired like folk metal band.
Ooh.
Female fronted as well. And the singer, she does this like she has a beautiful falsetto voice.
Hmm.
Um, and like it's like listening to like just a fantasy adventure in a song. Like they're amazing. My third one would probably be I do actually have it on vinyl. Where have I put it? But I have to include it because it's my favorite album. Like, where's it gone? Oh, here it is. Stella Darling, The Spell. It's so good. It's the only vinyl I own,
Oh,
and it's just like got such beautiful like artwork inside it.
amazing.
Um, a concept album about a woman who falls in love with death,
Hmm.
and it's just so beautiful. Like the songwriting, the singer, she plays a hurdy-gurdy
Oh,
as well.
what?
It's insane, honestly. I think she's also in what's the band called? No, she's in another famous folk metal band that I can't remember the name of for some reason.
Is it
But
Elven King?
maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's got like 10 members or something in it.
Okay, that sounds like Elven King. I don't know. But that was actually that's a pretty wild guess. If I'm actually right, that's a
Insane.
surprise. Could be a lot because there's actually like plenty of women in folk metal, which we love.
Yeah, it's the genre for us really. It's like they're doing it.
They're all listening to Fairport Convention, and then they're like, let's just make it really heavy Fairport Convention.
Yeah.
Um, so great choices. And if you could play a world tour with any three bands alive today, who would you choose? And is there any festival you'd like to play most of all?
Oh, okay. So Iron Maiden, obviously, has to be like the founder of the band, Ali. He loves Iron Maiden. They're his absolute favorite band. If you couldn't tell from the songwriting. But like if Wailing Banshee were to go on tour with them, I think we would all just die on the spot. We'd get the call and just pass away. um who else? I think Kiss would be so fun to play with. I saw them at Download and it was the most insane show I've ever been to. It was just so much fun. Um, who else? This is a really hard question. Um, Probably for like me, like personally, it would be in this moment, like just watching their stage shows. I always say that Maria Brink is like the Lady Gaga of metal. She's just like it's just her costumes. Like I imagine being like the backstage with her and like getting my makeup on with her would just be like the best vibe ever.
Oh, yeah, the vibe matters.
Yeah.
You're going all the way around the world with these people, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And what would be like a city or fest that you would like to play on that tour?
Download. Yeah, has to be. Has to be.
Um, Looking back, what was a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
Um, I think it would probably have to be like moving away from my hometown and moving to like Manchester City. Because I met so many of like my friends. Like I met all of the band. I met like Fractures in the Sky in Manchester. I just had like so many better opportunities than like that I wouldn't have got in my hometown. And like the like I have my family, like my found family, I would say, are here in Manchester now. Like our guitarist Harry, him and his fiance have just had a baby. And me and my partner are the godparents, and we live like two doors down from each other. So like I have that now to like I can just go around and like see them and like hold the baby.
Oh,
Yeah, just moving to Manchester was probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself.
amazing. How far is Manchester from London?
Oh, I will say that I probably couldn't afford the train.
Okay. Fun.
I think it'd be like 6 or 7 hours on the train.
Okay. Really far. All right.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
it's like northwest. So if that, I don't know if that gives much context. I'm really bad at geography though. Like I failed geography in school.
It's like the same distance from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. Like to get to Pittsburgh from here, even though it's in the same state, is like 6 or 7 hours.
Crazy
So,
because I hear that like in like the USA people will drive really far distances like to go and see their friends, and like here we'd be like no, I'd never. Like we
we
just
don't
don't
have,
have the
we like kind of don't have a choice. It's like, I mean, I'm lucky that I live in a part of the US where the trains are like actually very well networked.
yeah,
If you live like in the Midwest, it can be a lot harder to get around by train.
yeah,
But it's like very densely populated from Boston to like DC, basically. Um, yeah. So I have taken the train all through those cities. All right. So yeah, moving is actually a pretty often the answer to that question. It's like the big move, and that's when a lot of girls discover like the bands and musicians that they'll be playing with in the future. So I guess anybody watching this that's like, I can't find anybody to play metal with me, maybe go move.
yeah. Move away from your hometown.
Yeah. So what is your favorite gear and your favorite stage wear?
Okay, so I don't actually own one, but my favorite thing is when I show up to a venue and they have one of those mic stands that's like just a straight one with like the weighted like circle bottom, and you can just swish it about everywhere. I love it. They're so much fun. I borrowed one off someone for our music video, and I was so excited to play with it. I was just like, I bet a lot of people probably have like really high tech answers for that, and I'm just like, I like the swishy stick.
All kinds of things. Like I think it was Janice from Mean Mistreater. She's just like the girl of the week on this channel, but she recommended these little like caps that go over microphones. They're like masks for the microphone. And that way, like if like some like drunk man used the mic before you and it smells like beer, like you can
Sweet.
protect yourself from it.
Yeah, and so you won't get like, a cold or anything from it as well. That's crazy.
Right? And like also if you're wearing lipstick, you don't get it all over the mic. It's like a really great hack if you're not bringing your own mic. So
Yeah,
I think that the link to the product is in the description of that episode.
I'm gonna buy me one of those.
Oh, they come in little packs so that you don't have to like reuse them. Although if you could figure out a way to make it like ecological and reuse them, that would be amazing too.
I'm
Um,
I always get lipstick all over my chin because I like transfer it on the microphone. It's I come off stage, I've just got like a bright red chin.
um, and what about stage wear?
Okay, so right, these are my stage boots, and I love them.
Ah, I love
So
a
to
platform.
walk in. They are so uncomfortable. It's unreal.
Oh,
But
really?
I just love them too much to not wear them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like a flat platform boot is definitely my favorite, especially with the grip on the bottom in case it's winter and there's like ice everywhere.
Life-saving.
And plus, I'm like not very tall, so I really need some help.
So we did our when we did our EP launch this week. I put my boots on right before we go on stage, and as soon as I come off, I like ripped them off, and I was walking around with no shoes on, and I felt so short compared to everyone afterwards. I was like looking at the promoter, and she's looking down at me like a giant, and I'm like, hi.
And they're also so useful when you want to see the other bands and you have to try to like look over the shoulders of the men in front of you. Guys, if
Lifesaver.
you see a short girl, just let her go in front of you. She's not going to be blocking your view. Um, okay. So, what's a performance memory that you'll never forget?
I think in terms of like our best gig, so we supported Absolver at Manchester Academy 3, which is sort of like I don't know what I could compare it to in like USA venues because I don't really know any USA venues. But I think it was like 500 capacity, which is like it was the biggest stage we've played and like the biggest audience we've played to, and it was so weird to have like so many people like jumping around with us, and like when you like get them to clap, they actually clap along.
I
It
love
was so
that.
much fun. And like seeing people after that gig, like there was a guy who came to that one, and like we met, and he's been to like all of our gigs in Manchester since, and we always see him, which is like really really nice to like see that people are coming back. It's just a really nice feeling, like just from that one gig.
Yeah, that's totally affirmation that your shows are fun to see. Like they
Yeah.
would come see the same band again and again if that were untrue. So that's so great. And it's like it's also it's like that can't be phony because like it's too much effort, you know?
Yeah, the commitment.
Yeah. Um, okay, so do you have any more announcements for us?
Um, do I have any more announcements? So we are working towards booking a tour around the UK in like October time.
Hmm.
Uh, we are currently got a show booked in Preston supporting Praying Mantis, who, if you don't know them, they were quite a like a successful band in the 80s, like playing like the northern scene. So that's really really exciting to be able to play with them. And we're just going to sort of try and build our tour around that time. Hopefully getting some shows down in London for the first time, which would be very exciting because I've been to London once on a brownies trip. Brownies, I think, are like Girl Scouts.
Yeah, we call them
Like,
brownies too.
oh
When you're
yeah,
when you're very young.
that's crazy.
Do you use the same hand signal?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's going to
Well,
be the icon for the episode.
you like when I was little, the Queen was still alive, obviously, and we would like pray to the Queen at the end of every group meeting, which was very very chronically British.
That's so crazy. Like she's a goddess.
Yeah,
Uh, you know
thank
what?
you for giving us
Goddess of goddess of hats. I will say, goddess of hats. Um, and I love a good hat. So, okay. Well, I'm gonna be in London in September. Do you know Mel Hassan with the Midwich Cuckoos? Or okay, and then there's also Judith that does Underground Filth Promotions, who could probably actually help you book your tour. Um, So I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna make you take the train, that dreaded 7-hour train or whatever, and come hang out with us. I'm trying to make a Spice
that.
Girls cruise so we can get drunk in a hotel lobby. And now with you, we'll have four. So we just need
Oh
one
my
more
God.
British rock goddess. We'll be set.
I thought-
Um, what'd you say? It got cut off.
I said yes, yes, 1,000 times yes.
Yay! And then how can people follow what you do?
Oh,
And
so on all our social media, it is just at Wailing Banshee Official, nice and easy. On Spotify, I believe it's just. Do you have an app on Spotify? I'll have a look.
I think you can search for the name. I don't know either.
Yeah, just Wailing Banshee on Spotify. We do have a Linktree that has all of our socials on, so maybe I can send that to you.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
bio.
For sure. Okay, and so we close every episode with a little game where I hold up two pieces of vinyl, and you pick one that you want to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, so first round, Bonnie Tyler or Debbie Harry?
Um, Bonnie Tyler.
I feel like if you didn't say Bonnie Tyler in the UK when she was up against Debbie Harry, there'd be like a horde of people with pitchforks at your door. Yes, we love Bonnie Tyler. We love her rasp.
The hair is a vibe.
And her, yeah, the hair is a vibe. How did she do it? Wonderful. I love her. Okay. Kate Bush or LA Witch?
Kate Bush. I love me some Kate Bush.
Once again, preventing pitchforks from arriving at the front door.
My nan loves Kate Bush. I think she would probably kill me if I didn't choose her.
I mean, she really created the look.
Yeah, I just looked. She was just so unapologetically weird.
Mm-hmm. And the song Get Out of My House is the first recorded song to have pig guttural vocals. So
That's
yeah, she did that first. Um, okay. So Stevie Nicks or Pat Benatar?
Stevie Nicks.
What do we
Yeah,
love about Stevie Nicks?
she's just like she's the witchy gal, isn't she? She just like she inspired. I think that's the reason like girls my age are just obsessed with witches.
Um, this is my favorite Stevie Nicks cover. She's got the crystal ball, the tambourine, white roses, leg warmers that are lavender and go over her lavender platform boots, and then of course a parrot.
It's so beautiful.
It
Yeah,
is.
my dad said to me a bit ago. He was like, "Oh, you sound like Stevie Nicks when you sing," and I was like, "Shut up, Dad. No, I don't. You just
Aw.
saying that to be nice."
Um, Calvin or Susie Quattro?
Coven.
I
Yes.
also, yes, the Queen. I'm hoping that she's going to give us some new jams. There is this compilation album that came out on CD that was goth, metal goth queen.
Ooh.
I hope one day she'll release it on vinyl because it's so good. All right. And then lastly, Hoaxed or Grace Slick?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know either of these.
Oh, no, that's great. That's just as good of an answer because there's plenty of people in the audience that need to know more too. So Grace Slick sang for Jefferson Airplane. She wrote Somebody to Love and White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And then she was like, I'm the star. I'm out of here. And
Okay.
they renamed their band Jefferson Starship. And I saw Jefferson Starship because I am 250 years old. And then she did rejoin. Oh, look, another crystal ball. Um, anyway, this album had it was recorded in 79, and I think it was released March 13th, 1980. So it has this song on it, Angel of the Night, that is like a truly a heavy metal song. Um, and early heavy metal because she recorded it in 79. But it also has a bunch of weird stuff on it, like El Diablo, which is like kind of this like Spanish thing she tried to do. She had a couple of experiments on that. And
Okay.
then Hoaxed is a young, awesome band. Actually, same bassist in Soul Grinders Hoaxed. So they're a three-piece, all-girls doom band, and they had the best drum recording of 2023, according to Moi. And so, yeah, this is like what the best drums can sound like is this Hoax album. So yeah, two shadows. Now kind of like three shadows. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna do Googling,
and
but
their bassist, Pearl Zor, she was one of the early episodes, season 1 of this show. And like I said, she's in this band Soul Grinder, which is like kind of it's always hard to describe. It's really hard to mix it into a playlist too. It's kind of like if Nina Hagen was less jazzy and a little bit more like Alice Cooper.
Okay.
It's like an
Right.
Alice Cooper Nina Hagen without the jazz. So that's my best description.
That
Yeah.
sounds pretty, to be fair.
Well, thank you so much for your time and all of your stories. I'm totally going to hit you up in September, drag you down to London, and make sure you send me your links, and I'll talk to you later.
Awesome. Thank you. See you later.
See you. Bye.
Bye.